Well, folks, here we again for the weekly forecast. During the last week, we've seen that big trough move across the country, and it was slowly progressed through Nebraska, so we had about 3 consecutive days of precipitation. We had snowfall in the southern panhandle, particularly in the Sidney to Kimball area. 2 to 4 inches was common. We did see a couple isolated reports of 5 inches. Hard freeze conditions on the 10th across the panhandle and most of the sandhills, and then we've seen that follow up on Wednesday morning across southern Nebraska and eastern Nebraska with temperatures primarily between 29 and 32 and a few isolated pockets of hard freeze conditions. Most of the area in the southeast remain frost free. Now we have another precipitation event that's rolling through the state presently. That one is expected to clear out as we go through the day into this evening, and then we look like clean, clear, dry conditions for the remainder of the forecast period. As we go to the upper air models, here's that trough in play that's bringing the shower activity to the southeastern and east central portions of the state. That is expected to remain pretty much in play for the remainder of the day and possibly generating some pretty inclement weather during the football game this evening in Lincoln. But outside of that, most of the heavy activity remains to our east, just catches southeast Nebraska. The remainder of the state I don't think is going to see much in the way of significant moisture. Now as we get into Sunday, this trough deepens over the Great Lakes region. We see cool high pressures developing behind it. That means the drying conditions, favorable sunny conditions to help us dry out some of that rained areas that were rained on as the main precipitation remains to our east. Further to the west, though, we start to see the ridge starting to make an influence. Warmest conditions will be in western Nebraska as this ridge builds in on Monday. High pressure firmly in control. We'll be looking at temperatures ranging from the mid-60s across northeastern Nebraska to probably the low 70s across southwest. And as you can see, precipitation free across the country. Now as we go into the day on Tuesday, this ridge starts to build in a little bit more into the center part of the country. That's going to raise our temperatures about 5 degrees as high pressure plays firmly from the eastern Corn Belt all the way to the western Corn Belt, and you'll be hard pressed to find any precipitation from the western United States all the way to the eastern United States outside the southeastern portion of the country. On Wednesday, the trough starts to enter the Pacific Northwest. We start to see winds out of the southwest. Low pressure over the Texas Panhandle doesn't have much in the way of any moisture or energy to work with, so very dry conditions expected again once across all the entire Corn Belt. And then as we go into Thursday, we start to see that trough deepen a little bit more into the northern Rockies. That's going to keep our conditions out of the southwest. Very dry, windy conditions will be in play. Good harvest weather. These low pressure systems will not have any energy or moisture to work on, so we're expecting dry conditions. Precipitation makes a little bit more inroads into the northern Rockies, and then on Friday, models quickly move that to the Great Lakes. We see another trough building in behind it. So most of the moisture, if it does fall, will stay north of us. We look to be under the high influence of high pressure here in the Central Plains. Dry conditions once again. 8 to 14 day forecast indicates that this ridge will continue to expand toward the east, so we're going to see above normal temperatures. In terms of precipitation, dry conditions in the western Corn Belt, and it looks like moisture returns to the eastern Corn Belt.